channel. It is a wondrous and thunderous Wednesday over here. I usually don't say what name of the day is. Also, I got the name of the day wrong. It's actually Tuesday because I'm a little crazy right now. But we knock them out, we rack them up, and we knock them down. And of course, it is one of those days of the week that end with an A. Why? Yeah, so we got a game. We got to play Dragon Quest. Welcome back to the playthrough. We're doing a little bit of an event here today. Blast from the past, because this is one of the first Super Boss events released in the good old Dragon of Quest. I got Peso Pete here with me. I don't believe we actually get a match with him, but I had to show the intro to the thing. And then I'll go over to Sheena where we'll actually do some battling. So, as you know we do here, I give a little bit of gameplay, story explanation, and then we get into the wonderful analogy, and we have some media bullshit going on in the title. I don't know what's going on. Oh, but it'll all come together. It'll all come together, because gameplay-wise, this is basically fighting enemies that do not exist anymore. But they kind of do. But they basically don't. So essentially what Dark Deity Palace is fighting old bosses in stronger forms. It switches out every, I believe, 15 days. I think 15 or 20 days, like twice a month. And essentially, you have to defeat these forbidden, mystical enemies with your parties, but also with specific stipulations. And these are all pretty difficult bosses. You're allowed to take 8 of your pals with you here. So sometimes it is hard to get a match because, once again, these are quite old games. Usually the servers are only active late into the night. But I will switch over to Sheena. I don't believe we're able to get a match with Peso here, but I will switch over to Sheena, and we'll get one of those going and show you how it works. And yeah, you have to do certain stipulations to fight some of them, but it's all the same boss at one time, and then, you know, and then it switches off and there's another boss and whatnot. And then every now and again, that middle part right there opens up and you can go to Heavenly Gate, which is a super hard boss. I think you still fight them with 8 people, but they have little challenges to do during the boss. So that's the gameplay, and essentially story-wise, it's a little bit of a rematch with the gods. They are angry, and they are forcing us to seal away these entities that us heroes can see. You know, nobody else can see them, but, you know, the thing is, and how I relate this to real life, I feel like back in the day, only certain people could see, you know, the over-encompassing nature of the world and how crazy it was, and how power levels and nins are combined and all this bullshit. But with the introduction of the wonderful thing we call social media, that is when we all started opening up Dark Deity Palace and saying, what? There's a bunch of invisible people to fight? That's great. I gotta fight them all. I gotta get all the classes. I gotta beat everyone. I'm constantly in battle and at war with everyone and myself. And yeah, essentially that just gives us 0 experience in life, because, you know, you're not really going to fully win every battle unless you have a really good set team, unless you have a really good party finder, yada yada yada, all the above. Also, I started this up now because we just did the dailies a while ago, and I got tons of prizes. One of them being tons of War Deity belts that you essentially gain from doing this. Go back to gameplay wise, the only prize you really get from this is the belts, and I'd say that's very congruent to real life. For fighting all these social media battles and having the best food and the best selfie pic, the best Tinder profile, what prize do you get, my friends? What's the prize at the end of the day? Yeah, it's a belt. It's a chastity belt, because you're the eternal cuck version of the internet. Great job, buddy. Great job, buddy. It's a little sad, but it is very true in what we see as reality. It's just a weird thing. It's just a weird thing in my eyes. You never really want to become the person who chases this, but it always what happens. You know, it's always what happens, because we're eternally online. We are trapped in these spaces, right? And because there seems to be 0 alternative, you know, for fighting. You know, we can't actually go out and, like, you know, kill some tigers or shit. We delve into the internet realm of debauchery and retardation. But yes, I am here to tell you that there is a different path. There is a different way to fight and grind in the internet. And I'm not saying that the dark deity palace of the internet, you know, just constantly comparing yourselves to foes of the past in stronger lights is a bad thing. You know, everything in moderation. I feel like comparing one's content is the entire, like, goal of humanity, you know, to combine and grow. The problem is we look at these deities as, you know, real things, and they're not. It is the internet. These people are not right next to you. They actually do not matter in your life at all. So the problem with the dark deity media, you take it too seriously. It's just like, you know, when bad things happen to you in your life, you know, it's one dark deity after another. This is something that doesn't only happen on the internet, guys. This is some real shit, right? When it's one battle after another in your real life, and you feel like there's just enemies afoot trying to get in the way of your good vibe, you realize you are the only person able to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? And you had to realize, we only let the things that get to us because we think there's something we can actively change about it. And you gotta realize there really ain't. There really ain't. A lot of shit in life is just fucking set in stone. There's not a lot of crazy moves that you can do to weasel your way out of the way fate has it for you. And a lot of times we try to over-usurp our power. We really don't. And I've noticed a lot of things I cannot control, but one thing that I actually can control, one thing that I actually know how to control, I know far too fucking much on how to control it, is this YouTube channel, FL Studio, and like 90% of MMOs and RPGs. Like, so those are like my three things. And breathing. I know how to breathe, you know? And gooning. I know how to goon. And that's about it. That's like my list. And so if I really lock into that and just get to the best skill that I can at whatever I, you know, actively want to do, because this is that phase, you know what I'm saying? This is that lock-in phase. Then I just gotta move forward. And then I just gotta move forward, chop wood, carry water. It's a very, very frustrating process because we want to get invested in not only our lives, but, you know, I like to learn about all the bosses, I like to learn about all the characters, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But in real life, it's not gonna help you. It's not gonna help you like you think it is, okay? Of course, it's nice to sometimes delve into the environments and the attitudes of other people, but 90% of the time, it's not really gonna help you like you think it is. It's a very sad thing. It's a very sad thing. You know? And it's just like these bosses. I feel like this game would be very, very unfun if I just said I have to do Dark Deity Palace every time, with every character, immediately, all the time. And I did think I had to do that once, you know, because I'm a stupid gooner-brained American, you know? And when stupid gooner-brained Americans see challenges, we're like, yeah, I can take it all. American dream. I'm the best ever. You know, I got that super inflated ego. So, you know, yeah, for a first casual playthrough of this game, I was like, oh yeah, I got fucking 15 days, man. I'm gonna complete Dark Deity Palace to the fullest every time. And I would say that'd be valuable in life, but we usually have other people trying to hold us up. So if you spend all of your precious time fighting invisible battles that will probably give you absolutely nothing for it, because I don't know if I'm gonna need to use these belts. I don't know if I'm gonna need to use these random pieces of armor or these random friends I get from beating others on the internet at a game that doesn't fucking matter. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna need it, but I can do it anyways. And the problem with life is that we usually have more responsibilities than just our own. And I'm honestly on a quest to shade that, you know, for good or for bad reasons. I feel like it's for selfish reasons, but I feel like being selfish at this point is quite warranted. Quite warranted. Maybe I'm the asshole for not doing it sooner. You know, I've also considered that option, but I definitely don't regret any of the things I've given. I want to give more, which is why I've decided, you know, it's time to be selfish. I think, actually, I'm not even gonna say I think, I know all the people that I love in my life who are meant to be there will be fine without my presence. I know that. I am 100% sure of that. So now it's time for me to lock in and become someone better so that when I return to their presence, I can return with greater clarity. Because I feel like that's the main thing that's really just held me back. I have no wants. Like, literally no wants. Like, if it all ended tomorrow, I'd be like, thank the fucking Lord. And I feel like that's just not a way to go about it. At the very least, I should at least want to make more, and that's all I want now. You know, I just want to make more. That's the only thing, you know? I really don't care for anything else but the feeling I have when that content generation mind is going.
And you realize when you're too deep in the calamity armpits, when you're too deep in the deity battle after battle after battle, you start to realize that maybe this isn't even what I fucking want to do, you know? Maybe this isn't even like actively a good decision for my mental, right? Perhaps. I truly think that we are our greatest enemy, and thus, you know, you don't have to spend time fighting any other petty mobs, you know? Nobody's gonna whoop your ass like yourself, right? So fuck the deities, you know, maybe fight them once or twice, but I feel like social media really fucked us over with that just general attitude and mindset. You know, it's not about comparisons. Sure, we can go back to the past, we can see what super bosses were there, we can perhaps create a new enemy from the same seed, but always come back to present. Always come back to right where you are in story mode, complete that main story, do that job, get that thing, hug that girlfriend, kiss that wife, whatever you have in your life, treasure it, because you never know when it's gonna end. You really don't. And yeah, it's been a really rough day. Like I said, I thought it was Wednesday. I wish it was Wednesday. It's a Tuesday, and just tragedies after tragedies, man. Tragedies after tragedies. I hope everybody's okay, but I have to realize I'm just a man. I'm just a guy, okay? I don't have the power to change time or to alter the universe, okay? They will be fine. Just because I have the ability to either do that or lock in on more of this stuff or I don't know, goon in my room, whatever, and I decide to do this, doesn't make me a bad person, you know? I really don't know what effort my help would produce. And because of that, because I do know what effort produces when I work on this, I would just rather do this. And I don't think it's a bad thing. But that's on me, and that's something that I'll probably ponder for a very long time, because that's like what I like doing, you know? It may be mentally fraught, you know? It may be using my mana in weird and off ways, but it's what I like doing. So I appreciate you for stopping by. We'll do this again sometime. Dark Deity Media.